Hello guys! Today I'm going to try to make vegan potato pancakes, and I found this recipe at Veg News. And I'm going to use my KitchenAid food processor to shred my potatoes, and it calls for 1 to 1.5 pounds of russet potatoes, peeled and grated, 1 small onion grated, 1 tablespoon of fresh parsley. Sorry, I can't say that, minced. I don't have parsley, but I have cilantro, so I'm going to use that. 1/4 cup of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground pepper, and safflower oil for frying, which I don't have. I have canola and I have coconut. I have olive as well, but I'll probably use the canola. So I'm going to get started. Okay, so I have my shredding blade in my KitchenAid food processor. Maybe I'll just try it like this. You can take out the entire middle to make sure that you have space to put your whatever you're putting in there, but I've already cut my potatoes into half. This is the first time I'm making this recipe, as with so many of the recipes I've made. Okay, so there we go. I think I do have a little piece of potato stuck under there, but I'm going to just empty this out, and I'm going to do the same with the onion. I'll be back shortly. Okay, I have my onion, and I'm just dropping my onion in before I turn this on. Putting this below. And grating up my onion. Okay, so I have my onions in here. I have my potatoes. This is about a tablespoon of cilantro, because as I said, I don't have parsley. So I'm just going to add the rest of the ingredients to the bowl. And 1 second. Okay, so I have my potatoes, my onions, my cilantro. I am going to add the 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. A teaspoon of salt. A 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. Okay. I'm just going to sprinkle. Okay, so freshly ground pepper. And I also need a 1/4 cup of flour. So hold on. Okay, 1/4 cup of flour. And you know what? I'm going to sprinkle some nutritional yeast in here. And you know what? Let me measure this out for you guys. I'm so bad at just, you know, sprinkling in without measuring. Okay, I think I'll put 2 teaspoons. Let's actually sort of make it 1.5. So that's about 1.5 teaspoons of nutritional yeast. Now I have also just set my oven to 275. And now you're just going to mix this up, and I'll be back shortly. Now, one of the things I forgot to do with the first step was to take the potatoes and squeeze out the extra liquid. So you can see it there. So what I've been doing as I've been forming them into the pancake shape, I've been squeezing out the liquid. So if you forget, you can always squeeze out the extra liquid at this stage. And so far I have 4 pancake shaped here. I have my stove on like a medium high, and I'm just going to put them in here. I hope this works out okay. I did not weigh the potatoes, as it said 1 to 1.5 pounds. So, you know, it's possible. Do I need more flour? I don't know. But I'm just going to try this, and I'll see how this works out. I'm going to sort of just let this slowly cook, flip it over, and put them in the oven. So I'll be back soon. Okay. Maybe I'll turn it down a little lower now that it's warm. I don't know if these are too thick. Possibly, but at least by putting them into the oven, they will cook all the way through. And I will turn this back over to make this side nice and golden brown and crispy, more like that side. And I'm going to tell you what I did with the last bit of the batter. I poured out the excess water and I added like a teaspoon of cornstarch. So I'm going to see if those ones turn out any differently once I make them. I think I can. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so these three have the added little bit of cornstarch to it. And I will make sure on my tray, which I have right over there, that I will separate those and just see if there's any difference in terms of taste, texture, etc. at the end of the day. But these ones are holding up well in the pan. I didn't know how they would hold up. As I said, this is the first time I'm doing this. But so far, so good. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So these have cooled a little bit. And this side, I gave a couple to my daughter for breakfast. Well, a late breakfast. And these are the ones I did with the cornstarch. I already took a bite of this one, and I love it. These are so good. I'm going to just eat this, but I've made a tofu scramble. So let me try this one. Basically the same. And I don't see any difference in how they've held up. So look, you can make a potato pancake and you don't need egg to do it. You can do it completely plant-based. Here's the proof. It's delicious. Hope you try it. And if you do, let me know. Thanks for watching. One last thing I'm going to say. As you can see, there are 2 left. My daughter and I love these. I'm eating the last one. I would put a little less salt. Now, I love salt. Probably it's my one downfall. So I don't mind things a little extra salty, but I find this to be a little too salty. So I think it was 1 teaspoon of salt. If it's up to you, but you can put a little less, maybe half a teaspoon, and then if it needs more salt, just sprinkle on top when you're going to eat them. But I do find it's a little bit on the salty side. That said, still delicious. Alright guys, thanks for watching.